So now that we've finished creating our particles, the next thing that we're going to do is create the code for it. So it's going to add one bit of code that's going to be a little bit different from the setup that we did for our cloud, but essentially it's the same idea. So the first thing that we're going to do is click on the yellow events tab, and we're going to add when green flag clicked. Then we're going to go into looks and hide it. Since when we first started our game, we actually see our thumbnail, so our menu. We don't want it to automatically start, so we're going to start off by hiding it. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to allow it to start creating clones. So we're going to go inside of our yellow events tab. We're going to add when I receive green flag. Go into control and add a forever. We're going to add a wait and change it to 0.1 seconds. And then still instead of control, we're just going to add a create clone of myself. When we win, we also want this to stop. So we're going to go back into our yellow events tab. We're going to add another when I receive. And this time we're changing it to win. We're going to go into control and scroll down to stop all and change this to other scripts in Sprite. Once we have that, still inside of control, we're going to add a forever underneath it. And then we're also going to add a delete this clone. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to tell our particles exactly how we want them to act and what we want them to do. So instead of control, we're going to add a when I start as a clone. We're going to add a go to front layer. So we're going to go into looks and add this block in. Then we're going to add a show. And then we're going to add a set color. And we're going to click on operators and use this random block again. This is again going to be just as important as the clouds because it's going to allow us to do different variations so that it doesn't always look like the same thing. So we're changing the 1 to -10. And the 10 we're going to change to 0. Then we're going to go into our motions tab and add a go to X, Y block. The X is going to be changed to 230. And the Y, we're going to add another pick random. So you can always go into operators, or you can just duplicate the random that we already have and just add it inside. We're going to change the first bubble to -200 and the second bubble to 200. Still instead of the motions tab, we're going to add a point and direction and add another pick random. The first bubble, we're going to change it to -105. And the second bubble, we're going to change to -75. Now we're going to go into looks, and we're going to add a set color effect, changing the color to ghost effect, and then changing this to 100. We're going to go into control and add a repeat, and we're going to change this to a 5. Then back into looks, we're going to add a change color effect inside of the repeat, changing the color to ghost, and the 25, and changing it to -10. Underneath that, we're going to add a repeat until, so we're going to go into control, add that block in, go into operators, and use the the less than symbol. And then in the empty bubble, we're going to go inside the motions tab and add the X bubble inside of the empty bubble. And the 50, we're changing it to -230. Then instead of motions, we're going to add a move 10 steps. Okay. Once we're here, right underneath. We're going to add another repeat. We're going to go into control, add a repeat 10, change it to 5. Then we're going to go into looks, add another change color inside, change the color to ghost, and this time change it to 10. And then all the way at the bottom, we're going to go into our control and add a delete this code. So what this code is essentially doing is it's setting up exactly where we want our particles to start showing, what point is going to be moving to and from, what direction is going to be facing as it's doing it. It's going to first start off as being invisible, and then it's going to slowly become uninvisible, so it's going to start showing up. And then over here, it's going to then wait until they reach a certain part of our screen before it's going to start making it invisible again, and then it's going to delete it. So this is what the block is essentially doing. So let's see when we click on our green flag. And you can see that the effect is working. Obviously my particles are a little bit too big, so I'm just going to go back into costumes, click on my select tool, click on a corner and hold and drag out a big selection box, making sure I'm picking every single part of my particle, and then I'm just going to go ahead and make it smaller. And I can keep playing around with the size until it's about what I want it to be. Then once it's the size that I want, I have it all set. So once you guys are done coding, it's always good to test everything out and make sure that everything is working and it's the size that you also want it as well.